Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
Today we're going to talk about Commerce Secretary Howard Nutlick. Oh wait, Lutnick.
Lutnick. Oh,
it's an honest error. You know, you just transpose the L in the N.
I don't know how that happened.
This charming gentleman, also a billionaire.
Is he a billionaire?
He is indeed.
He's one of the billionaires.
He raised an alarm over fraudsters receiving Social Security benefits. And the example he gave is that if his 94-year-old mother or mother-in-law didn't get her Social Security check, she wouldn't complain because she would just assume Social Security screwed up and that she'd get the check next month. Or both checks the following month. And he says the people that do scream and complain the most are the most obvious fraudsters. I mean, as opposed to the people that absolutely rely on Social Security and Medicare to pay for their bills and take care of their health and are alarmed when they can't pay their bills. You know, maybe not the best example when your son-in-law is a freaking billionaire and could, buy you the best health care in the world and, send you $5,000 and it wouldn't even register on his checking account.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the stupidest argument ever. I'm trying to find out. I thought he said it was his mom. But no, his mother-in-law who's 94. Yeah, I mean, $5,000 to a billionaire? That's like, someone walking down the street and finding a nickel on the floor.
And I'm not saying that Nutlick's mother-in-law is getting $5,000.
It's Lutnick.
Yes, like I said, Nutlick.
Okay. I just want to make sure you were pronouncing it correct.
She probably only gets $2,000 or $2,500, but you get the idea, right? Yeah. It's just hell. He could write her a $10,000 check, and again, it wouldn't when he calls the bank to cash the check. Mr. Nutlick, we have a $10,000 check for this woman here who's not complaining about anything.
Oh yeah, exactly. A lot of the folks out there that I've read.
I'm usually not this petty. I don't go into name calling, but this guy fucking deserves it, man.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
There's a lot of folks in the comment section who really are living. They really count on Social Security to get them through the month. It's like, if I don't get my Social Security check, I'm living in my car because this is the only thing that pays the rent and puts food in the pantry. And it's really tone deaf.
Yes,
when you're a billionaire and
with the last name of Nutlick.
You're a billionaire
Nutlicker.
And you really don't have a concept of how
Ball gargler.
A lot of Oh, Lord help me.
Tate sniffer.
You just have no idea the struggles that a lot of people go through just to get the basics in their life.
He probably had COVID once and lost his sense of smell.
He might have.
Yeah. You lost your sense.
I have lost my sense of smell in COVID. I got it back. It was very tragic because I was about ready to go on vacation. And I was going to the Oktoberfest, and it would be really lousy to go to the Oktoberfest and not be able to, taste the beer that you're drinking or the pretzel you want to eat.
Now, the question I have for you is that when you lost your sense of smell, did eating suddenly, was eating a chore?
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant at all.
And did you take the opportunity to eat really healthy because, all of a sudden, broccoli doesn't taste nasty anymore. Raw broccoli, no less.
I took the opportunity to eat foods I really don't like. For example, it's like, I don't like black licorice.
God.
And we had some black licorice, and I was like, I'm going to have some black licorice. And I couldn't taste it, but I could tell by the texture and how it felt in my mouth, like, oh yeah, this is black licorice. I can't taste it, so it's not unpleasant to my senses, but it's just like, yeah, no, even just eating it doesn't work for me.
So was it texture? What did you end up eating? Was it texture stuff?
Yeah, it was. You just basically your whole sensation for eating is textures.
Okay.
So cornflakes would be fantastic.
Did you have any could you tell salty from sour from sweet?
Nope.
It was literally just eating styrofoam.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like chewing on your pen cap, It's just you're just doing it because it gets the pain of hunger out of you. It's no fun. All the joy of eating is gone.
Okay.
That way. But yeah, so we've got Lutnick here, his little tone deaf podcast that he was saying that, if your Social Security check doesn't show up, don't complain. If you complain, that means that you're a fraudster and you don't, and those are the people we want to cut off.
Yeah, so I want to look at the energy around this. Are they signaling cuts to Social Security, and is this a trial balloon for Social Security benefit cuts? Or more to the point, if then they start cutting employees at Social Security and all of a sudden people's checks aren't getting to them on time, is this a way to sort of say, hey, we warned you, and if you complain, you're a fraudster?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I want to look at.
Yeah, is it messaging?
Okay, so let's see. What's the energy around Mr. Nutlicker here with his...
I think Lutnick, but keep going.
Yes. With regards to Social Security, I have my deck's upside down.
Well, he's not very strong.
No. You got the... Here's a bitter pill for you to swallow. Here's some nuts for you.
Well, he definitely has his tongue out.
Now. Don't complain. This is look at this. This is why the pictures matter. Here's a bitter pill for you to swallow. I don't want to hear you complaining about it. You wouldn't want me to call you a fraudster. And involving money. Let's see. How many people can we buy on this? This is reminiscent to me of like the messaging that was it?
Ooh, earthquake.
The messaging that the Republicans are bringing forward during COVID of which grandparent wouldn't sacrifice their life so that their kids could like have an economy or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
They were more than willing to sacrifice the old people to keep the economy going because Trump had hung his hat, coat, and slippers on the stock market doing well.
Yeah.
And they were willing to kill anybody to keep that stock market going.
It's that same thing. It's messaging on money. It's, what if there's not enough money, and, be a good soldier and don't complain when we give you this bitter pill. So this is messaging on that one. In the past, the Four of Coins, this is all about privatization of Social Security. Mm-hmm. They're trying to break Social Security and get people ready for it so that there'll be more momentum to privatize it. This is all about that. Current situation is the Hermit card. Again, a trial balloon. They're exploring the possibilities of privatization, but the first thing you have to do is you have to prep people for the system to be broken, then break it, and then tell them that the system's broken, it doesn't work anymore, even though you're the ones who broke it, and that you have a solution, which is privatization, because that's the solution to everything.
Well, people are so good about saving for their retirement using 401ks as to begin with, right?
It helps if you make an abundance of money, have discipline, and are willing to put off things you enjoy in life in order to save for retirement. But for people living paycheck to paycheck, those are luxuries, not reality.
Yeah, you don't have that option.
Yeah.
So privatizing it just really, it's just another punching down at people who are very modest means.
Pay people a living wage, and it's not an issue.
Yeah, we can't have that.
I know, right?
Not in a democracy.
So, overarching energy is the King of Cups. It's emotional manipulation. This is just trying to manipulate people's emotions with it. The lesson to be like, they're making cuts. They are going to be making cuts to Social Security. They're going to try and do that. They're going to try and make things chaotic in Social Security Administration. They may not cut the amounts they're giving to people, but they will cut the speed with which services are provided. And when you don't have enough manpower, it's going to take longer. There's going to be more mistakes, and they just don't want people complaining about it because, or at least not right away. Mm-hmm. Because then you have to really, really break it. If you only break it a little bit and they complain about it, well, then you can quickly put it back the way it was.
Yeah.
but you've got to, again, slowly boil the frog to the point where there's no fixing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's got to be a slow descent. Outcome is the Ace of Cups. It's up to people to be outraged with this.
That's what I'm getting.
And to, again, dialing back to the Bernie AOC video that we just recorded, that if everything goes according to plan, you watch that on the 25th as this goes up on the 26th. People need to make choices as to what they want to do. It would be helpful if people went outside Mr. Nutlick's house and protested, with megaphones shouting out his name. Hey, Nutlick, come out here. And,
That's what I love about Dave is when the good fire energy comes flowing freely out of him.
Don't mess with people's livelihoods, man.
People get funny when you screw with their money,
Yeah.
Yeah, that right. Okay, so will they be successful in privatizing Social Security?
Well, that's quite the leap there, but okay. All right.
Well, how about, is their goal to privatize Social Security?
I already told you the answer to that. You're just,
but then why is it such a leap to go to will they be successful in doing it? What do you suggest?
I suggest you read up Mr. Lutnick.
Yes. So my next episode. No. Will they be successful? It'll be part of their agenda. They're going to try and get MAGA to rally around it.
It's not since the celebration of the death of Planet Basketball has there been such an outraged rally going on. There's the missiles. Planet Basketball.
The challenge to putting on the agenda is the information coming out and people taking action against them. That's a peaceful planet. And then the chaos it's creating by trying to break the Social Security system in order to privatize it.
The funny thing is, these are the very people that put them in office.
Yeah.
And they're screwing them. And I think they're just trying to tell them, stop, quit your whining, take one for the team.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to really work.
Yeah, it's so funny. The Republicans, they're so good about getting their base to vote against their best interest, right? In the past, you got the Two of Wands. They've been planning this. This is on their radar. This is something they were looking down the road to doing. Current energy, if they're going to privatize it. Queen of Wands. There's a lot of things that need to happen in order to get this to work properly. But the problem is once again, it's creating a lot of chaos, and people are going to demand action. Hey, these payments, they need to come through. Overarching energy is the Five of Pentacles. Perfect. Just, you don't care about the peoples whose lives you're screwing with. You're just going to take their money away from them and put them into poverty. Or even worse, they don't have anything left. And, that saying is, the most dangerous person is the one that has nothing left to lose. Lesson to be learned, the Nine of Swords, the anxiety, the nightmare situation that you're creating if you're going to try and privatize this. Outcome is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, it's moving your objective forward, taking an action and taking it forward. Will they be successful in privatizing it? I don't think so. I think the backlash is going to be too strong, and the messaging is going to be, we need to take action on this to fix what the damage that's been done, because too many people are getting hurt, and it's a situation that's not a pleasant one for anybody. I know you wanted to do it, but it's just simply not going to happen. Now, is that intuition or is that bias? Maybe it's both. I don't think they're going to be successful in it.
No. The thing that always alarms me when the Republicans are doing stuff like this is it signals to me that they don't have any intention of holding midterm elections, because this would be devastating for anybody running for re-election. And the only reason why it would make sense that you do it is that you don't intend on letting people have elections. Or that meaningful elections.
Or that you can control the outcome of the election.
That's what I meant by meaningful elections.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, if you know what the outcome's going to be, and you could get the same outcome regardless of what actions you take in the run-up to that outcome, yeah, you're going to be emboldened to do whatever you want to do because there's no consequence on the other end.
Consequence.
Yeah. That's what we always used to say growing up.
Yeah.
We did say that, didn't we?
No.
Never once.
Just a high-level spiritual lesson. What is the spiritual lesson from this? Is there anything more to this than just folks facing the consequences of their life choices?
Nope. That's all it is.
If you can find one card in the deck that's like, you're going to have to face the consequences of your life choices, that's it right there.
Pretty much. Could have been the King of Swords. That would have worked just as well.
Yeah, that's true. There's that strength card, bitter pill to swallow. Yeah, the messaging. It's not like they didn't tell you what they were going to do. And you were silly and naive for believing anything different.
God, wait to see the underneath card.
Yeah, they told you what they were about, and you didn't want to believe them. And now it's the bitter pill you need to swallow.
Yeah, because that's what you signed up for. You hitched your wagon to that.
Yep. Yes. Yep. You wanted this. They told you they were going to do horrible things, and now you're stuck with the horrible things they told you were going to do. It's like, I thought it was going to be hurting other people first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you silly, naive little child.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it sucks for the rest of us. For the people whose lives are negatively impacted that didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
That's the toughest thing for a lot of folks, and I get that vibe in the comments, is that, I didn't sign up for this. Why should I have to suffer because someone else was being clueless? And I get it. I truly, truly get it. We didn't sign up for this either, and it's just, it sucks.
Eight of Swords. Everybody is stuck with those decisions.
Yeah, this is Dave's comment about hating group projects.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we had a couple people in the group that they're a little slow on the uptake.
But everybody's vote matters equally, whether you are educated on the thing or you're just rooting for the guy in the red baseball cap.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a podcast I think it's called The Necessary Conversation. It's about I was showing a couple of those to my brother before we started recording today, about two young people, a brother and sister. They're probably in their 20s, and their parents who were likely in their mid 60s to early 70s or so, and the conversations that they have, and the parents are full-throated MAGA. They only get the news from Newsmax, and the reasoning and the rationale between them is just jaw-dropping. In some ways, it's kind of getting into the MAGA mindset. One of the comments they talked about was transgenic mice, and so they start off like, "Dad, what is your opinion on transgender mice?"
Oh, transgender or transgenic?
Well, Trump referred to them as transgender mice.
Oh, okay, good.
And the news and the parents get all their stuff from Newsmax, and Newsmax was all over about transgender mice, and where my pearls clutch the pearls about transgender mice. And then the kids corrected the parents. It's not transgender, it's transgenic, putting DNA into them so they can study stuff like cancer. And then the mom says, "Oh, now you're playing the cancer card." The son had cancer. It is a cancer survivor. And the mom comes in there and says, basically, "Oh, this is like your pet peeve because you had cancer, and so that's why you're against Trump on this one." And then on another part, it isn't one podcast, but there was broken up in different TikToks. He does go after the mom. They're very patient with their parents and the craziness the parents spew. It's like, "What did you mean by I'm playing the cancer card?" She's like, "Well, you had cancer, but we all had cancer." what the mom was failing to say eloquently was, you had cancer and we were all suffering emotionally because you had cancer and we were really worried about you. But she couldn't get the words out right. At least she could recognize that she was drowning and she was making things worse, because in her point of view, she's trying to diminish her son's point while making herself the victim that her son had cancer and she suffered as much as he did.
Yeah, the problem is, all she had to do was
shut up.
Well, that too. Acknowledge that, oops, I made a mistake, or relinquish the point and give him the victory on that point.
Nope.
And then start a conversation fresh.
Nope.
But she kept trying to defend.
Right.
And it's, a total tower moment. Every rock she stepped on sunk underneath the weight of her foot. And then it's just like,
to the point where the son said, so you were the victim in all this.
Yes, it was very painful to watch. Kind of like this video.
Yeah. The mantra has got to be, you don't have to admit you were wrong, you just need to admit you were lied to.
Exactly.
The admitting you're wrong comes later down the line. You just got to get them pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one baby step at a time.
We'll see what happens. All right, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight. Leave a comment. I read them all. Respond to many.
And unlike those other fake Twin Tarot channels that...
There are fake Twin Tarot channels out there?
Clearly, dozens of them. Hundreds of them putting out fake Twin Tarot videos.
Oh my goodness.
You can always tell the OG Twin Tarot video by the secret card.
Secret cards and the lack of editing. So I want to give a couple of call-outs.
Go on.
Shout out.
Oh, you said the magic word.
To people who have been active in participating in our comment section. And since I don't have a list anymore, I'm going to just read the people who just recently commented. And the first one we both know, Kiwi Nana. Hi, Kiwi Nana. How are things going in New Zealand?
Good day.
Maybe you could give her a nice card.
Okay, well, I just need her address and I'll write a nice little card.
How about just over a virtual? Oh, yes.
We'll be flying down for lunch.
Yes, that would be wonderful. And then we've got Valerie Wood, who's saying, glad you're feeling better, David.
Oh, good.
So she should get a nice card. Make sure you pull a nice card.
By the death card or something.
Yes.
Health is to be evaluated.
And then we've got Lynn Gagstetter, who I know is always in the comment section.
Lynn Gagstetter.
Lynn Gagstetter.
I don't think you pronounced that right.
Leave
it in the comments.
I pronounced a lot of them wrong.
She's just disappointed.
Exactly. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lynn.
It took you so long to give her a shout out.
Becky Stone.
I know Becky Stone.
Becky Stone's always in the comments as well.
And she will continue to be in the comments.
And then the last one.
Probably not in the held portion of it.
And then we're going to give a shout out to Skip T.
Skip T.
Skip T.
Is that Ice T's cousin? Skip?
No, he just didn't drink it. He skipped it.
He skipped the tea.
Thank you so much for watching. And a card for the rest of us. Oh, one of Dave's favorites, the Five of Wands Hillbilly Brawl card.
Yeehaw.
Let's go out there and have some fun. Just don't hurt anybody.
Enjoy the chaos. I mean, where else can you live in such chaotic times?
Lord help us. We are definitely living in chaotic times.
Oh, it'll all be okay. Ha ha ha. As we all hang on with white knuckles, trying to endure this race.
Oh my God.
All right, everyone, take care. We'll catch you on the next video.
Bye.